How are you doing today, Harrison?
I am better now that I am serenaded by the music of your voice. And the excellent timing of your laugh. Now, I want to talk a little bit about making products here in the U.S., and people, A, need to understand the quality is impeccable, and B, that it's affordable, and C, that you can actually have Americans create products.
Yes, the quality is impeccable. I believe I think me and Carl both believe it's far superior, the time and effort going into the craftsmanship of the product. There is a lot of legwork that goes into finding the right people to do the job. We found that was very difficult.
We found you through Macworld, which is calling this thing that you're making called the iBackFlip somersault. And in my ultimate geekiness and nerdiness, anything that I can throw on and actually be able to use my instrumentation, because as you know, our show here is peripatetic, whatever that means. But I think it means traveling from one town in the Middle East to the next. And that's what we do. We go live from all over the place, and it takes a way to carry the equipment and go live, and using your weird backpack where you can actually flip out, let's say, an iPad right on your chest and walk and type and transmit is really awesome. And that you made it here in the U.S., really, if it had been made in China, I know it would have been crap. So, well, you guys are thinking about that, though, aren't you?
Well, yeah, setting out to create this product, I was in a completely different industry, and I was in the security industry, just selling and designing high-end security systems, from video surveillance to access control and traveling. And when the iPad was introduced, I was very excited because I've been working in AutoCAD for a very long time, and I really enjoy it. I've always enjoyed playing around in it and designing things. And when they announced that the iPad was coming out, they also announced at the same time that Autodesk was jumping on board, and they were going to bring Sketchbook Pro to the table.
Now, a lot of people have no idea. A lot of us don't have any idea what you're talking about. I'm a nerd. I'm a geek. I'm a techie. I love it. I'm sitting here turgidified by the possibilities of what you're saying. But a lot of people are like, what the hell is he? What you're talking about is that all the stuff that we hear that's technical is now able to be re-articulated, recreated here using American people to build it. And that is awesome. And that you're involved in taking things like Apple stuff that maybe feel really distant to us and make it available for all of us using, again, American labor. And I love to talk endlessly about why that's a smart move. We end up taking all the jobs overseas, and we all sit around waiting for the jobs to appear. There aren't any. There aren't gonna be any unless people suit up, show up, step up to the plate, and make that possible. And you're one of those guys. By the way, it's 16 minutes past the hour. We're talking to Ryan Chavis. I believe Carl Moebis is there with you. Is that right?
I'm here, Harrison.
Carl, I want to welcome you to.
How's it going?
Carl is with iBackFlip.com, and they are uniquely making stuff here in America, going through the steps that it takes to actually find qualified people to build, because a lot of people aren't even looking for work anymore. So it's double duty, but retraining us how to do stuff here domestically, make high quality stuff that we can use with our technical. It turns out I'm doing a lot of technical stuff, so this one caught my eye. And also one of the people that we use in our operations, Billy Foster, is based in Phoenix right now, and he is instrumental in helping me get on the beam technically, and so we're examining some of the stuff that makes our lives easier. Macworld has written these guys up because they are doing this heroic American service right now. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we're going to be doing a little live and local traffic with Jeff Thomas. Bottom of the hour, live news with Mercy Malik, and about 20 till activism a go-go, where we get up off our large curd cottage cheese buttocks, get into action, and become part of the solution rather than doing nothing and thereby perpetuating the problem. And then at 1:45, brand new Sports with Garrett. You're supposed to look up when I say your name. Sports. Yeah, he's looking up now. He's looking down. It's okay, but you're going to like
That's
that.
what my cat does.
Well, I know. You know, just because I'm a big fag and I don't care about sport, I can say it. You can't.
I don't intend to.
Thank you. I don't necessarily sit around fantasizing over football, but you know what? I can't paint the world based on my limited little perspective, right? Therefore, I have to bring in the big butch guys like Garrett.
I fantasize over football.
And there will be football news.
And there will be football news. By gumbo, by golly, by gosh. So quickly, you guys, tell me why you chose to use Americans to build this, why you chose the U.S. market, when we're all told it's better in China, it's better in Taiwan, and screw Americans. You don't have that mindset, and you're dealing with making like Apple products, so that's a big deal.
Hey, this is Carl. I can chime in there a little bit.
Yeah.
When we first started out making this somersault, one of the main problems we had was the turnaround time. Working overseas and outsourcing looked like it was a several-month venture, 4 or 5 months before we even had a sample to look at. So we quickly started looking to U.S. manufacturers who said they could get us samples within a month. With that, we were able to turn around a product a lot quicker than if we had outsourced it. We did experiment with some Chinese manufacturers, but the problem was everything they sent back looked horrible. The U.S. quality was amazing. It cost us a lot more money, but it was worth it. And I'm sure Ryan can speak to that a little bit more.
So at the end of the day...
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Eric.
Okay, I can, but you're the guest, so you go ahead.
Well, yeah, like Carl said, we spent a very long time trying to hunt down the right people, the right individuals to create our first generation product. It was a very long process, and just because just trying to hunt down an artisan, a person that could take our two-dimensional drawings and bring that and breathe life into them. And it takes somebody with some artistic talent to do that. As far as going into our second generation product with the somersault, it's a more complex piece of I wouldn't say equipment, but it's a more complex piece. And it really took a lot of legwork to find the right people to put it together.
So what you're let me read between the lines. Education, which we know is really, really, really important, though at the top levels, the people running for president of the United States, at least on one side of the party aisle, tell us education is evil, it's awful, science is akin to devil worship, bad, bad, bad. The other fella says, no, good, good, good. Your experience as people with an education are therefore more likely to be employable, reliable, competent, confident, and quality producing. I know this sounds ridiculous, but this is the world we're living in 2012, right? It's counterintuitive. Yeah. But I mean, I have to say this on the radio to confirm that somebody who can read and write can actually read and write.
Well, Harris, there's a lot of talent in the United States, and it's a shame that it's not being utilized. And that's why Ryan and I are very proud that we're utilizing U.S. manufacturers.
Well, we're glad you did it, and you have saved my life with this thing. I was able to walk around NAB and do interviews with this thing hanging off my chest, and people were like, what's that? And I said, it is not a papoose. It is an iPad poose.
Nice.
Yeah, and when we set out to create it, we thought about that. That was a big thing of mine. Was with the original was to create something that did not look ridiculous when you're using it, and it worked very smoothly. It had to work smoothly, or it was just going to fail. And then going into when me and Carl sat down and we went back to the drawing board with the somersault and the somersault slim, we really pumped everything we wanted to pump into it originally, but just didn't have the resources at the time to do. And we think we came out with a fantastic product.
Well,
it works smoothly. It doesn't look ridiculous when you're using it. It actually works how it's supposed to work.
And there were lots of showgirls in Vegas, and I tried to get a few of them to use it as a breastfeeding module, but I'm sure you could make a larger one down the road, and we'll check back with you on that. I want to thank you both, Ryan Chavis, Carl Moebis of iBackFlip.com. Thank you guys for hiring American, for starting at the American Blueprints and following it all the way through and making us come first. And speaking of coming, it's time for a little live and local traffic with Jeff Thomas. Stand by.
Lock it in. Coming up, more Harrison. 310-737-DOUG.
Jeff!
Oh, Jeffrey Thomas.
Oh, Jeffrey Thomas.
We need you so badly.
Oh, well. Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Oh, Jeffrey.
So, how about this?
The vocabulary of the average American stops growing by age 18. And a lot sooner if you live in the Ozarks.
Oh.
To make a positive impression and to get ahead, you need an advantage. You need Hillbilly Verbal Advantage. With Hillbilly Verbal Advantage, you'll learn key power words that will make you seem smarter than you really are. Words like gruesome.
Woo-wee, have you seen Billy Bob's boy, young Billy Bob? I hardly recognized him. He sure has gruesome.
Raffle.
You best get out of here or I'll let this raffle do the talking for me.
Spearmint.
I heard that old Doc Frankenstein was doing all sorts of weird experiments in his basement.
Give your vocabulary the boost it needs with Hillbilly Verbal Advantage.
Call today.
Okay, that's really funny because we were having a discussion about the phrase "dadgummit" recently.
Were you?
And you know that I live with a Brit, and he had never heard "dadgummit" before and thought that I was pulling his leg and had made that up. I know people back there, tell Cookie to give me some chow now, dadgummit. Dadgummit, get that varmint over here.
TheSmartShow.org. That's right, org. Is in a real big organ.
Women adore him. His lust is unquenchable. His animal magnetism knows no bounds. He's a man. He's a beast. He's Bullwinkle.
Oh, Bullwinkle.
Are you okay, dearie?
Oh, Bullwinkle.
Dear, are you having an asthma attack? You are. Somebody call an ambulance. All right, Julie, now take a deep breath now.
Yes, that's right. You can talk dirty to Bullwinkle, too. Have the moose with antlers satisfy your every bestial desire.
Don't stop. I'm almost there.
You're almost here? Boy, if I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake.
Bullwinkle, make me scream.
Well, okay. Your credit cards have been revoked.
Yes, talk dirty to Bullwinkle. Call 1-900-MOOSE-ME. $2 the first minute, $6 each additional minute. The moose is waiting to talk to you.
Hurry up and call. I'm in the mood.
Call 1-900-MOOSE-ME right now.
The Smart Show.
Would you get hip to